In one of the videos, I already talked about how the right decision can radically change your life for the better. There, I was mainly talking about people who lived ordinary lives. A student, a warehouse worker, a married couple, a successful businessman, and a little-known musician. These are people from the US, Europe, and other countries. And today we will talk about those who not only got lucky but became true crypto investors. Many of the heroes of this story started out as students, bankrupts, or romantics who were laughed at. Many went through trials, imprisonment, and emigration. Some are financially independent with a billion-dollar fortune, while someone is still fighting for financial freedom and a successful life to this day. I will also show you the dark side of misfortune using the example of a failed millionaire. Crypto is not a magic lamp, and not just a tool that requires knowledge. It is a big business that any one of us can enter. And today we will learn from the real crypto sharks. My name is Ivan. I am an investor and businessman. I have 6 projects in the field of crypto, IT, and artificial intelligence. And while I am working right now, my digital double is recording this video for you. All the information has been personally double-checked by me. The future is already here. So, here are 5 amazing stories of the most famous crypto millionaires. Cameron and Tyler Winklevoss both are 40 years old and live in the USA. World champions, potential co-founders of Facebook, and crypto billionaires. Current capital, over $2 billion. The Winklevoss brothers are the founders of the social network ConnectU. For a long time, they sued Mark Zuckerberg, insisting that he stole the idea of their site for his social network, Facebook. In 2013, they spent part of the court settlement of $65 million to buy Bitcoins. Many at that time considered their investment naive, but their investment brought them a profit of 31,000% a few years later. Cameron and Tyler are not only investors, but also creators of one of the Bitcoin exchanges, G-Mini. They also developed the idea of creating a Bitcoin-based ETF, an exchange-traded fund. Currently, G-Mini handles transactions of approximately $300 million daily. For 7 years, the crypto billionaires financed their cryptocurrency empire on their own, but in 2021, they attracted $400 million of investors' money. According to Forbes, the Winklevoss twins' net worth in 2022 was approximately $1 billion each. Interestingly, Cameron and Tyler are actually athletes. Their main achievements in sports, specifically in rowing, are gold medals at the 2007 Pan American Games in men's 8 and men's pair final at the Beijing Olympics. So you do not have to be the best student in class to earn money on cryptocurrency. Satoshi Nakamoto, the creator of Bitcoin. Current amount of Bitcoins owned, 1 million. Estimated current capital, $18 billion. The mysterious creator of the Bitcoin system, of course, cannot be a shoemaker without shoes. This person or group of people certainly did not buy Bitcoins, they mined them. Mining is a way to obtain cryptocurrency for free, based on solving mathematical problems by computers. In the early stages of cryptocurrency development, this process was much easier than it is now. It is known that the Bitcoins owned by Nakamoto have never been spent or transferred. With a capital of about 1 million units, Satoshi, whoever he may be, owns assets worth approximately $18 billion, depending on the Bitcoin exchange rate. Despite the fact that the media have been talking for many years about the fact that crypto is a bubble, one of its founding fathers is in no hurry to withdraw his capital, so he is confident in the future of cryptocurrency. Or perhaps his fate was decided by intelligence agencies. We will most likely never know the answer to this question. Roger Ver, is he a debtor or a millionaire? Current amount of Bitcoins owned, unknown. Estimated current capital, unknown. According to various estimates, it ranges from a debt of $47 million to a fortune of $800 million. Born and raised in Silicon Valley, Roger made a living by selling fireworks on eBay. Later, in a complicated criminal case where he was accused of manufacturing explosives, he made a deal with the investigation and pleaded partially guilty in this criminal offense. He served 10 months in prison and then moved to Japan in 2006. With experience in investing, though not very successful, in 2010, Roger Ver learned about crypto and quickly became passionate about the idea. He not only bought a significant amount of cryptocurrency but also constantly talked about it to anyone willing to listen, like a preacher. For this, he earned the nickname Bitcoin Jesus. In 2011, when Bitcoin was worth about $10, he predicted that digital money would outperform any other asset class by a factor of 100 in the next 2 years. And then he watched as his prediction came true. Ver invested in various startups based on the idea of digital money. He is currently the CEO of Bitcoin.com, Interestingly, Roger is one of those people who renounced their US citizenship. This happened in 2014 after obtaining a passport from St. Kitts and Nevis. These documents allowed him to travel to many countries without restrictions and also reduced his tax burden. However, Roger continued to live in Japan. According to various sources, Roger Ware's net worth is estimated at $810 million. His income comes from various ventures, including his work as an entrepreneur, investor, and one of the early adopters of Bitcoin. He has also launched several Bitcoin-related businesses, including the Bitcoin.com exchange. However, this is where the controversial part of his story begins. And from this situation we can learn a lot. So what happened exactly? First, I will bring up dry facts and then explain what it means and what this story teaches us. In 2022, rumors began circulating about his large debt, which created problems for the exchange. On June 23rd of the same year, CoinFlex suspended withdrawals after the counterparty, later identified as Ware, faced liquidity issues and was unable to cover a $47 million margin call of stablecoin. This situation can be compared to a cash flow crisis in business. Perhaps you do not understand much right now, so I will explain everything using an example. All exchanges have their own reserves. That is, a reserved amount of cryptocurrency that was deposited by the exchange owner. It is equal to the sum of all the exchange's assets. So, if all users collectively trade assets worth $1 million, the exchange owner must have their own separate $1 million unrelated to client funds, which is not mixed, and is needed in case everyone wants to withdraw their money at the same time. But many exchanges do not have enough money for such reserves at the start. What does this mean? The exchange owner reaches out to companies that have large sums in various cryptocurrencies. They allow their capital to be used to support liquidity, that is, they provide their money as reserve for the exchange. This way, the exchange can start operating and generate profit. However, if the exchange owner provided it themselves, they would receive all the money from the fees, but in this case, a portion of that amount, their profit from the commission, is given to the company that helped them. It is not known exactly how Roger funded his exchange at the start. Nevertheless, this eventually led to his exchange using clients' funds. Perhaps he used them for risky investments and lost them, or he became a victim of hacking. Either way, for some reason Roger lost the money of the exchange's clients, which he had no right to take. This led to the exchange being at risk of bankruptcy. As a result, it is difficult to say for sure whether this person with such an amazing and complicated fate is currently closer to the status of a billionaire or a bankrupt. Charlie Shrem, current amount of bitcoins owned, unknown, estimated current capital $60 million. Like Roger Ware, Charlie Shrem recognized the potential of cryptocurrency early on. He invested himself and in 2011 founded the startup BitInstant, which allowed the purchase of bitcoins through 700,000 trading points, including Walmart stores. At one point, BitInstant accounted for up to 30% of all Bitcoin transactions. From 2011 to 2013, the company showed very good results and attracted funding from a number of business angels, including Roger Ware, whom I have already mentioned in this video. However, in January 2014, Shrem was arrested on charges of money laundering and providing indirect assistance in Bitcoin transactions for a total of $1 million. The funds were linked to the darknet market Silk Road. Shrem was also charged with failing to report suspicious banking transactions to the authorities. In total, Shrem faced up to 30 years in prison for the charges, but by admitting partial guilt, he only served 2 years in a federal prison in Pennsylvania and was released in June 2016. Now, Charlie is one of the heads of the Jax startup, which allows users to exchange one cryptocurrency for another. In addition to his work in the Bitcoin space, Charlie is also a venture capitalist and angel investor with investments in over 20 companies in the IT and digital currency fields. Interestingly, in 2011, Charlie tried to get a regular job at the payment system PayPal, but was rejected. The other heroes of this video, the Winklevoss brothers, met with Charlie and his lawyers in court. According to them, in 2012, the Winklevosses allegedly gave Charlie Shrem $1 million to buy bitcoins for them. However, they later discovered that they did not receive the full amount of coins. In the fall of 2018, they demanded the return of 5,000 BTC from Shrem through legal proceedings and claimed that he may have spent that money on expensive real estate, Maserati sports cars, and yachts. Eventually, in the same year, the parties reached a settlement in the case. Shrem never admitted guilt for the Winklevosses' accusations. As part of a confidential agreement, the case was finally closed. On his path to financial freedom, Charlie was not only on the brink of bankruptcy several times, but also narrowly avoided spending the rest of his life in prison. This story teaches us the importance of perseverance in achieving long-term goals. However, I strongly advise you to choose only completely legal paths to wealth. After all shady schemes sooner or later lead to a sad outcome. Moreover, Charlie's story is not yet over. The last hero for today is a person whose name remains unknown. One thing we know for sure is that today his fortune would have reached $215 million. But why didn't he get his money? As you probably know, access to Bitcoin, like any other cryptocurrency, is done through a seed phrase or key. If you lose this secret key to the system, your savings are irretrievably lost. In November 2013, the BBC had a report about a UK resident who desperately searched a local landfill for an old hard drive with the secret access key. His online wallet contained 7,500 bitcoins from 2009. The Englishman learned from the news about the incredible rise in the cryptocurrency's exchange rate and began tearing his hair out. At the time of the search for the hard drive in the landfill, the value of his bitcoins exceeded $7.5 million. And at the time of recording this video, it was a staggering $215 million. It's hard to imagine being in that person's shoes. But in a way, all those who do not use crypto can find themselves in the same position. There is no point in calculating how much you could have earned by buying bitcoins for a couple of $100s 10 years ago. It is tens, hundreds of millions of dollars. And there were true cryptocurrency preachers that no one listened to. But today, when more force majeures have occurred globally in the past 5 years than in the previous 50, when we all pay for it through huge inflation, the risk of default, and rising taxes and prices, when the banking system has completely discredited itself, ignoring cryptocurrency is like behaving the same way as the unlucky Englishman who ended up at the landfill. I recommend each of you to learn more about crypto. I have prepared a whole series of videos with simple answers to beginners' questions about how exactly crypto will save and protect your money and how to start using it with just a couple of dollars. I hope this video was useful for you. If so, please like and subscribe to my channel. Make the right choice and see you in the next videos.